Welcome back, heisters, and get ready for a good one. In the series of videos where I rank aspects of Payday 2 from worst to best, today we are tackling a behemoth and its skills. Previous videos so far include best to worst heists, DLCs, and heisters. So there are 90 skills in Payday 2.
Holy shit.
But if you count the basic and ace versions separate, there are 180.
What the fuck?
Ranking these, of course, is quite the task, but I'm ready for it if you are. Let's throw the regular disclaimer and some rules around this one. This is the most ultimate subjective list. Literally millions upon millions of combinations and preferences come into play here like no other. To make this list, I will have to take a broad overview of the skills together and not say what is best if you're a dodge player or an armor player, etc., but give each skill merit on its individual basis. For example, if you are a dodge player, then of course Sneaky Bastard may land higher for you than say you were to play stealth only, where Sneaky Bastard isn't used as much. This will also be said for weapon skills, as there are some super targeted skills for weapons, and you may not even use those weapon types at all, but broadly speaking, we'll rank them on merit. I'll also be using the is it worth it for the price mentality, as some skills are overpriced for what they are, and some are just a straight up bargain that are hard to pass up. Skills will also be ranked by their total offer on both aced and basic, not just the one side of it. Lastly, before I start, I will rank with a perspective of death sentence play, because as you know from my build videos, playing anything other than that and you're a pussy. This being a video about skills, we will also not get a chance to see much of the heisters dancing, so before we get started, let's get a little bit of that right now. Breezing through some of the bottom ones, starting with some skills you've probably never heard of or even equipped. In last place is Saw Massacre. Portable saw skills for loud are really not a great idea, so hey, let's make them 9 points to get. Sweet, sign me up, no thanks. Up you go, one of the selection of skills that are supposed to help you after being revived, pretty much useless and never used. Counter-Strike is a skill I've seen some people use, but it's so situational that you almost have to walk around expecting to be meleeed or cloaked, and for 9 points aced, crazy talk. Running from death, another after revival skill, only slightly less useless than the worst one. Ammo efficiency is another 9-point stretch. We know headshots are the way to go and get one bullet back for 2 headshots, but the SMG, AR, and sniper rifle all have to be in single shot mode? No thanks. Force Friendship is a super basic skill and is only really used to start off the skill subtree if you want hostage taker or joker skills. If it wasn't there, you wouldn't use it. Second Wind Basic isn't the worst pickup, but the aced version is a mess. Having someone in the team running this, you get bursts of speed all over the place and it's really distracting, especially if you're running a fast build in the first place. Pumping Iron is only really used in melee builds and they aren't much use on death centers, not effectively anyway, just a try for fun kind of thing. 6 points for aced isn't a good use of points in a regular loud or stealth build. Another melee skill for getting up close and personal, the 50% reduction from enemy melee can have its use, but is far from necessary. 6 points for body bag skills is a lot. Basic is probably enough for this. Luckily with stealth loadouts, they're so easily made that you can afford every skill you'd ever need in a build, so you'll probably ace this anyways. Fact is, you don't ever really need this many body bags. 9 points to loop a cam and pick locks. Again, another stealth skill, so you'll get it anyways, but damn, that's a lot of points. Looping cams may even be useless now if you stealth with hacker. With shotguns being widely used in the game, this skill is not really on the radar of most players because it's trash. Another 9 pointer for aced, and it's ADS skills for shotguns. Who even does that? Now we hit the first sentry gun skill, and it's the big one, our first tier 4 skill on the list. Tower defense adds 3 more sentries to our inventory and is 12 points to grab aced. Sentries in general could use some buffs in the game for higher difficulties, especially if more than 15% of our skill points are invested in making them good in the first place. Our first pistol skill drops next, and it's the extra 15 damage for pistols, 9 points for the aced version. Of course, if you're speccing out a pistol build, you might grab this one, but these numbers don't put the pistols into high damage territory. Marksman serves really as a sniper skill, granting accuracy for aiming down sights. If sniping is your thing, maybe this is too, but putting SMGs and ARs into this skill seems unnecessary. Dire Need staggers enemies once your armor is broken. It can be useful in a pinch, but for 9 points aced, you're mad. Another sentry skill is next, and if they are your thing, then the ace version may be the way to make them last 3 seconds longer on death sentence, but they're still going to be sparking real soon regardless. Chameleon is a default pickup in a stealth build and the lowest amount of points. Nothing exciting here, move on. More sentries and targeting practice. More accuracy, rotation and ammo. Not bad for crappy sentries. Portable saw is an odd one seeing as you can take a primary saw, but if you want to equip it as a secondary, then it will cost you 2 points, and 6 to make it worth it. Only a couple of heists really would benefit from this anyways. Still like sentries hurt? Well, here's another one. Via engineering, you can make them silent and add AP rounds for a mere cost of 9 skill points. Good for taking out shields and less chance of being trashed in 5 seconds. Pistol time again, and a basic pickup for you single shooters, or akimbo too actually, but fast draw and accuracy for cheap. Sticking with pistols, and our second tier 4 is on the list with Trigger Happy. 12 points will get you this ace. 120% damage increase, but you're probably better off sticking to this one basic and saving the 8 points from acing. Combat Medic starts the tree for just a single point, and most loud builds will have this based on the other skills in the tree, but if it were higher you wouldn't take it. Damage reduction for 5 seconds and more health when revived. Rifleman with snap and zoom helps snipers and ARs. Not too keen on the ace version, but the points are low enough to make this part of an AR or sniper build. Heavy Impact has some use if you don't take explosive or snipers for shields, but 5% basic is too low. 6 points to get a 1 in 4 chance to stagger enemies when aced. Third law for sentries finishes out all the sentry skills, and this is the most basic, giving those little suckers a shield. Sentries are still crap for the points, but this one is a necessity and you'll have to take it. The third tier 4 on my list is Fire Trap. This is a lot of points to get and spec up, but if you like the technician role with drill skills and all that, then this can be pretty effective. Ace is of course 12 points, but the fire spreads for 6 meters and lasts 20 seconds. Problem is when you run out of them, you're done. More trip mines and lower in the tree. A damage and radius increase of those suckers, 6 points of your hard-earned skill point stack will get you this one. Kickstarter is the first drill skill on this list, given a slightly higher chance to restart itself and the 50% chance of melee to restart. 9 points is a lot for this quirk, and the drill skills below it are probably sufficient and loud. Finally, out of the bottom third of the list and entering the medium section, starting with Stockholm Syndrome. This can be a lifesaver in loud, but not often that someone runs it, probably because it's 9 points to ace. Bloodthirst can be fun, charging up a melee to 1600% of its base damage and a faster reload after it, but it rarely gets used. Worth some fun for 6 points, or if you're specking to get higher in the tree. Unseen Strike is close to being good and has its merit, but for a tier 4 skill and its 12 point demand, the ace version is not really worth it. Best suited for dodge build as the effects are negated once you're hit. The 18 seconds of the ace version sounds generous, but chances are that 6 seconds is enough before you get hit. Feign Death used to be a classic with a crossbow messiah dodge build, but for 9 points you only get a 45% chance of it working. Not to say I haven't been saved by this, but I find it hard to throw that many points into a less than half chance of it working skill. High value target has utility in stealth and loud. Marking for longer is a plus, and the extra damage is pretty solid once you reach the criteria in the 50% increase. 9 skill points though, tough decision, especially on those close quarter heists. Desperado really feels no different with its basic portion, but you will feel a difference with it ace. 9 points is steep for a skill for reload speed, but worth it if you're running pistols. ECM skills next, Overdrive for jammer and feedback time along with the ability to open doors. Good for stealth, and if your crime spree build uses ECMs, then this is a great pickup. Tier 4 ECM skill is next, and the ability to take 2 ECMs instead of 1. A necessity if you want ECMs in a loud build. Taking it ace will give you the extra time on feedback and jammer also. 12 points is your bounty. Fire control is an accuracy skill. Remember accuracy being bullet spread. If you're a hip firer, then this could be for you. I generally don't feel much benefit from this, but I will take it if I have some spare points, being that it's only a tier 2 skill. Bullet Storm and the unlimited ammo for 15 seconds can be useful if you have an ammo guy on the squad. Best to know this exists though and take advantage of it. Messiah is the next tier 4 skill and was a big part of my builds from a few years ago. Still worthwhile in dodge builds where you're already rolling the dice of getting hit, this can be a lifesaver. It can just be a bit of a stretch with the points and it barely feels useful to get the basic only version. Pistol Nut? Then you'll like Gun Nut. Sure, plus 5 bullets is okay, but the increase in fire rate can be very welcomed, especially with certain pistols. If your fire rate on the pistol of choice is already high, then don't bother with this one. Need more firepower? Here you go. Trip Mine Man or Stealth Sensor Mine Man. Either way, 9 points will fill your inventory with enough of these to get you there. Expensive, yes, but if it's your thing, then this is your thing. Some drill skills that make them a little more efficient and for a few points. If you want more than the first drill skill, then this is where I would stop. Given a decent decrease in the timer, basic may be a good enough help for 2 points on loud heists. Now we're dead middle of the list. Painkiller's Ace is one of those that some people choose over Quick Fix Ace. I just prefer Quick Fix, as 5 seconds of anything other than invincibility is pretty useless. It's low enough on the tiers to be useful, and you may end up taking this basic if you're a low infamy needing to get inspired. One Song has been great, and I feel like it's been getting used less and less over time. It used to be 9 seconds of unlimited ammo before down, but then it got cut to 6. Get used to Swan Song and it will take you a while to get used to not having it once you remove it. Still a good skill and has a lot of use. Transporter is a superb quality of life skill. For 2 points you can throw bags a lot further. You can also say screw it and not bother, definitely middle of the road, but take it on heist with lots of bags. Shockproof sounds like a skill I would love, but sadly you are not actually shockproof. Now that would be a skill I could get behind. If this was invincibility to tasers, sign me up. On death sentence, it's likely even with this skill you'll still go down before you break free. But if tasers love you like they love me, then you may want this one. Extra lead for our ammo boys, I rarely take this, but love it when my teammates do, especially with Bulletstorm. If you're taking weapons with crap ammo pickup and you take ammo, you will need this skill. It's expensive, but less expensive than having no ammo. Fully Loaded is the tier 4 ammo crown. Throw the serious points into this one and you'll turn some crappy ammo pickup weapons into mediocre ones. Turn mediocre ones into good ones and turn good ones into better ones. Being able to pick up extra throwables is cool too, whichever poison you pick of course. Die Hard is a great movie, but is it a Christmas movie? Oh, never mind. You can John McClane objectives and manual revives with this skill like a tank, with 50% damage reduction. If you're a ballistic vest wearer, then this also may come in handy when aced. Hardware Expert is a great addition to a loud build that has a spare point or 2. Fix drills faster and give them a 1 in 10 chance of restart for the bonus price of 1 point or 4 for ace. Scavenger is a tier 1 skill that gets those ammo packs before your teammates do, and aced it will drop an extra one for every 6. Pretty solid pickup for low points and low ammo pickup weapons. If you hate slow reloads, then this one could be for you. Of course, only if you play with ARs, SMGs and snipers. The ace version is a bit of a stretch for the cost, but you will notice a difference in reload for only 3 points. Confident can get you 2 jokered cops if jokers are your thing. I feel that only one finds me monitoring them too often and obviously having to convert more often. If you're trying to save points but still have jokers, then this could be a miss, but an extra gun in your favour to take some of that heat is always welcomed. Optical Illusions is a dice roll in that it's negated if your teammates are also running it, being that all of you can't be less targeted because someone has to. But Ace, this tier 2 skill, can help you reach some good concealment figures by using suppressors, good for crits and low blow along with Sneaky Bastard for dodge. Graze is the sniper tier 4 skill and can be super effective, taking out long hallways of enemies with 1 shot. It's quite the investment in points, but you can have a lot of success with it. Next is the tier 4 in Enforcer. The highest wearable armor in the game is unlocked here and is yours if you're an armor player. Basic this and you will get 30% extra armor, which is useful in quite a few perk decks that increase armor or convert armor to health. It's a shame that the actual heaviest armor in the game can't take more than a couple of shots on the hardest difficulty with all perk decks, but maybe that could change. Akimbos in Payday 2 are fun, and especially now there's so many of them, with many shotguns and pistols having both single and akimbo versions. Increasing their ammo cap by 50% is massive and a great pickup for only 6 points. Quick Fix is a common pickup in the medic tree for its ability to deploy first aid kits and med bags 50% faster. Once you take this, it's hard to go back to slow dropping of health deployables. The ace part is negligible, but the basic part is magic. In the top 30 now, starting with Underdog. Again, a nice cheap tier 1 skill that can offer some situational damage increase and damage reduction. Not a bad supplement to a lot of loud builds. Shotgun CQB is a reload speed skill for shotguns, a necessity if you're using a shotgun. The bonus here is that it's only a tier 2 skill, so picking up this for 6 points is a no-brainer. Yet another tier 4 skill now, and Frenzy, a great damage reduction skill that had its glory days before it was reduced. Still viable and only really useful with the ace version. A solid 25% damage reduction and puts you in an always berserker active state if coupled with that skill. Try with Anarchist and see how you feel. Inner Pockets is for all those stealthers and dodgers. 2 cheap points will conceal your melee more, and if you want help to get crits or dodge with a ballistic vest, then 4 more points will help with that too. Sneaky Bastard is just shy of the top 25, being a go-to for most dodge builds, although not necessary. You can reach 50 dodge with Rogue and no Sneaky Bastard. Spend 12 points, meet the requirements, and you'll get that to 60. This is a classic skill. It could be lower on the list if dodge ain't your thing, but it will always have a place in most people's hearts. Jack of all trades is a key skill. If you're an ammo guy, a medic guy, a trip mine guy, a sentry guy, well, you could be a little both with this one. 2 deployables is always nice, great in stealth, and a boon in loud. Do you see dead people? Spoiler alert, he's dead all along. Sixth Sense is a must for stealthers, especially new players. For 2 measly points, you can pretty much get to see around corners and see what's there in terms of civilians and guards. Aced is good for insider assets, so you'll probably have this in all stealth builds. If you're playing with the 1 down modifier on, then you'll more than likely need med bags too. This is a must, and unless you're playing stoic builds or ammo man tech guy, then beefed up med bags are your tuna sandwich. That is a really odd reference, so please throw the words tuna sandwich in the comments to confuse people if you're still with me here. Shock and Awe is an underutilized skill in my opinion. It's a so-so basic skill, but the Ace version feels extremely good with LMGs and removes the need for explosives in order to take out shields. Weapon damage increases are always welcome, and shotguns are no exception. In an opposite to the pistol damage increase we had earlier, this one sits in the tier 2 rank and is a percentage of damage increase, not just a point increase. A sweet 15% more damage is pretty solid for the point outlay. Close by is the next shotgun skill and gives you the ability to run and gun. Another one of those that's hard to give up once you get used to it. You can also get the same ability with a lock and load skill, but this one is specific to shotguns. Close by Aced is mandatory if you're using a shotgun that is mag fed, getting that increase of 15 ammo. Low Blow is our critical hit chance skill that is great to bolster subpar weapons or even good weapons to make them hit with more of a punch. While utilizing other skills to maintain a high concealment, you can gain up to a 30% chance to land a critical hit when the criteria is met. It doesn't have to be on a dodge build either. Body Expertise is the next tier 4 on the list and another great one for increasing the viability of SMGs, ARs and LMGs, converting 90% when aced of the headshot multiplier when you land a body shot. This pairs extremely well with a surefire ace skill in the same tree, which makes sure that all your shots hit through enemy body armor. This is a great skill for all those spray and pray players like me that don't have the best aim all the time. The professional skill was part of the fallout after the historic silent killer skills disbanded, or more like disemboweled. What we are left with now are some solid accuracy and stability boosts for silenced weapons. Given you already get a bonus on these stats from certain suppressors, this is a solid pickup to turn your weapons into a laser type thing. Only 6 points for the Ace version 2 is a bargain. Berserker is a great situational skill that requires low health. For 9 points it will increase the damage of your ranged weapons up to 100% in increments in relation to your health below 50% to 0. With the right armor setup you can rely on your armor to take the hits and keep you in the Berserker zone for as long as you can. Another great partner for the Frenzy skill. Surefire is another great skill for ARs, SMGs and LMGs. More in the mag for basic and the enemy armor piercing ability for ace. Sure it's 9 points but you don't have to land every headshot with this one. Don't be too proud to take this one. Enjoy missing some shots but still dealing damage on high difficulties. This makes the LMG category a lot of fun to play. Resilience is a tier 1 cheapo. For 4 points, worry less about the damn flashbangs. Sure, still hit them and stop them, but if they go off, you ain't blinded for 2 weeks in the process. If you are running armor, or in fact have any armor, you would need this basic regardless. Parkour is pretty close to being a mandatory skill for its basic 2-point version. Whatever armor you're running, a 10% movement speed boost is always needed. The reloading while sprinting is also a nice touch and one that can come in handy instead of sitting in a corner waiting. Partners in Crime is a tier 3 invested Joker skill. Yes, this buffs your Joker's health, meaning they take a lot less damage and survive a lot longer. In fact, they are pretty useless on death sentence without this skill, but you also get a 10% movement speed increase and 30% health more for yourself. Depending on what deck you are running, this can really be a big help. Lock and load has become a mandatory for me almost, the basic version at least. Whatever weapon I'm running except for snipers, I'm hip firing. I often get asked on videos what mod I'm using to remove the running animation from the game, when in fact it's this skill that does it all along. Ace, this can be a good help too, particularly for LMGs and their slow reload, but that's a lot of points and I rarely spend it. Hostage Taker is the tier 4 king for Jokers. Grab yourself jokers and add passive health regen to any build that you are running. Sure, it's not a massive amount of health that's coming back, but it can either supplement health regen from the perk you're running or remove the need for the use of first aid kits or med bags. Obviously not to be taken with frenzy or berserker, but if you want health back, this could be the way to go for you. The developer's namesake overkill is a skill that's atop of the shotgunner tree and will cost you 12 points to ace. I rarely see this aced, and the ace version still requires a shotgun kill to activate, so it's a little clunky in my opinion. Where it shines though is for 4 points you get a 75% damage increase on all shotguns after your first kill, and it lasts 20 seconds. Throw critical hits and weapon damage increases on this, and this is why shotguns are widely used. Uppers sure does live up to its name. For 9 points, you can get 14 of these first aid kits and fully replenish your health whenever you want. Throw one on the ground and then auto use it if your health reaches 0. This also applies to your teammates and can only happen once every 20 seconds, but it sure can be a lifesaver. You can even jump off buildings and survive if there's one of these waiting for you at the bottom. Stable Shot is a tier 1 masterpiece. 1 point will get you 8 weapon stability, and 3 more points will get you 16 accuracy when standing still. Not much really to say about this one, it's a bargain. Jokers are cops that you dominate and have fight on your side. This is a skill that enables that, so before you get the skills to make them stronger or increase the amount, you need this. Only a tier 2 skill, and the ace version is pretty solid, but an alternate if you're trying to shave off points somewhere else in the build. Duck and cover is pretty much the mandatory skill whether you have armor or not. Sprint 25% faster and regen your stamina faster. Want to be a turtle? Then don't spend the 1 point for this tier 1 skill. Dodge builds will benefit from the ace portion of this with a 10% increase in dodge when sprinting. 9 lives came to fame when 1 down was introduced to Payday 2. Getting another down before custody essentially makes the 1 down modifier a 2 down modifier by taking this ace. Even if you don't play with 1 down active, it's still a decent skill as it saves med bags or even the need to take med bags in the first place. Into the top 3 now, Steady Grip is number 3, again a bargain tier 1 pick. 8 accuracy for 1 point is hard to fault, and for 3 more points you get 16 stability. Of course these weapon stat increasing skills aren't needed on every single weapon, but for sure a lot are, and both this and Stable Shot are worth their points. Bullseye is number 2 on the list for its ability to save your ass on many occasions. With the armor stats working in Payday 2 to where even if you only have 1 armor point left, a shotgun hit from a dozer right in your face will still only hit you for that 1 armor point and not touch your health. The only enemy being able to pierce your armor and hit your health in 1 shot is the sniper. Hitting a headshot will grant you 5 armor back when basic, enough to take another shot yourself. This skill pretty much needs to be on every build except stoic builds. The ace version really isn't necessary as the difference you will gain will very rarely help any more than the basic version gives. 3 points, it's a done deal. And number 1 on the list, you probably guessed it before you even clicked on the video, but the top spot goes to Inspire. The tier 4 mastermind skill allows you to yell at your fallen teammates to get them back up after being down. With a cooldown of 20 seconds, you can still revive faster manually if needed. The basic version also gives a 20% speed and reload boost to your teammates, so keep yelling at them even when they're up and fighting. This skill is worth the 12 points on higher difficulties and not needed when you're playing solo. Unless you're running a team of pros or no down stoic users, you may very well need and want this masterpiece. So there we have it, not the easiest video to make, but definitely a fun one. As always, please be sure to leave comments, hate, suggestions and high fives down below, and make sure to check out my other list videos if you haven't already.